daily schmaley. It's 5:06 a.m. on Friday. I think Andy and I have a mutual pact of non-judgment when it comes to being on time for my training appointments at 5 a.m. I'm late, no big deal. He's late, no big deal. Shabbat Shalom almost. It's John. It's Friday morning. It's about 6 o'clock. Just finished my first workout. Did some circuit training with Circuit training with Andy. Thought that might mean I was going to be electrocuted. That might have been a nice alternative. Now I'm going to start the second part of my workout. Some time on the treadmill as I think about the day ahead. 8:30 I have a Leadership Burbank board meeting. On the board of a thing called Leadership Burbank, which is a leadership education program that I completed last year, and now I'm on the board of it. From there I go to my synagogue, and the preschool holds a Shabbat service. It's challah and wine and candles and songs, like Shabbat evening every Friday morning at the preschool. And from there I have a meeting about Hebrew school. We're starting Hebrew school year this Sunday. And that I'm having a conversation with an employee who's been a temp for us for a while, and she's going to be a full-time employee starting next week. We're pretty excited about having her join the team. And then I'm running to a place called Juicy Ladies in the West Valley with my friend, colleague, and mentor, Rabbi Richard Camrus. Then it's back to Burbank to help a friend of mine prepare for his conversion to Judaism next week. And that's going to throw us right into Shabbat. We have our first hot Shabbat of the year happening. That's 5:30. It's a kind of a children and family-oriented service followed by a potluck dinner. Shabbat Shalom. With our new early childhood center school year, we're back in the habit of celebrating Shabbat with our littlest friends on Friday mornings. I'll probably tell a Shabbat-related story in between some wonderful songs that our music specialist is going to sing. But first, I have to go move a piano. In a minute, we're going to have several dozen little kids in here, ages 3 to 5, singing some songs, learning a little bit about Shabbat. Our preschool is open to the whole community, regardless of faith orientation. However, we have a Jewish curriculum. We teach Jewish holidays. We celebrate Shabbat on Friday mornings, and we sing some great Jewish songs in English and in Hebrew, and sometimes there are puppets.
Shabbat Shalom to you. Shabbat Shalom to you.
This too is where I spend a lot of my rabbiting, going roughly the speed limit on I-5 to another part of the valley. Sometimes I'm going to AJU. Sometimes, like now, I'm going over to the West Valley to have lunch with a friend and mentor, Rabbi Richard Camrus. Even though I'm in a small but mighty local synagogue, I spend a lot of time on the freeway getting rabbi work done. With the Juicy Ladies here in Woodland Hills for lunch and a conversation with my mentor. He just came back from a sabbatical, see if he learned anything from his time in the wilderness.
Back in the automobile, rabbinating from the driver's seat. I'm actually going over to someone's house to do something that I've never done before as a rabbi, and that is preside over a ceremony of Hatafat Dam Brit, which means drawing a drop of blood for the covenant. This is somebody who's converting to Judaism next week. This person is male and was circumcised at birth. However, as I explained in another video, as someone who's already circumcised who wants to convert, we need to draw a drop of blood as a sign of entering the covenant of our father Abraham. So I just stopped at CVS to get some needles and gauze, and am now going to go help somebody do this deed. All right, got that over with. Next step for him is Beit Din and Mikveh, and then he will be a nice Jewish boy. Next step for me, learn how to get through Hatafat Dam Brit without giggling. Once again, Friday has been a super busy rabbinic day. Went to a board meeting this morning for a local nonprofit, Leadership Burbank. Went and celebrated Shabbat with some preschoolers. Had 2 meetings, one to discuss the opening of the Hebrew school year, the next to bring on board an employee full-time who's been a temp with us for a few months. She's super excited to join our team. We're super excited to have her. Then ran to West Hills to have lunch with my rabbi, where we talked about the joys and challenges of being synagogue rabbis in the 21st century, what synagogues are going to look like in the coming years, what has to change, what has to be maintained, keeping in mind the goal of bringing people closer to God, and that being more important than maintaining specific practices, although some practices are pretty important. And coming back to do Hatafat Dam Brit with a friend of mine, some days I wonder what the heck I'm doing. I wonder if I'm making any kind of difference in the world by going to meetings and working on budgets. And then some days I feel like a real rabbi. And I have to say today was a rabbinic day. Sometimes there are puppets. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Take it easy.